The IL-2 flying tank recovery. In the Novgorod region, a World War II stormtrooper was discovered at the bottom of Ilmen Lake. This is the first such find for the last 20 years. The searchers hope to establish the pilots' names and then transfer the plane to the local history museum. At the beginning of the operation, the depth of 2.5 meters didn't allow to take the plane off the bottom. The lake's bottom is full of silt, it's the world's best preservative. Even Novgorod launch ships can be found here fully intact. But the searchers were interested in the plane found. It was possible to determine that this was an IL-2 attack aircraft, but this took a lot of divers' work. It took 7 days to trim and remove the fishing nets and steel cables from the fuselage. But what happened then made the expedition members to remember the Sea King himself more often. First, the storm damaged the pontoon slings, the rise was postponed, and the barge with a crane was called for. They hooked the plane, but it had laid underwater for too long, and silt filled all the cavities and made the plane way too heavy. IL-2 broke into two and returned to the bottom of the lake. On the first attempt, only the nose part with the engine was recovered, but this gave a great opportunity to identify a combat vehicle by its serial number. Then it was the cap's turn. This time the slings failed. And for the third time, it was possible to extract the cabin with the wing. This moment was especially expected. Everybody was waiting to find out whether the pilot was in the cockpit at the time of the fall, since the plane turned over during the fall and the pilot might not have an opportunity to get out of the cockpit. The lantern was turned off and the cabin was empty. This is the beginning of the story. The aircraft was probably shot down at the beginning of the war. It was riddled with bullets. There were no bombs in the suspensions, so we can infer that it bombed the enemy and was shot down by a direct hit from an anti-aircraft gun. This is evidenced by the hole from a shell hit on the hood. The pilot probably ejected. There was a thorough work with the military archives, which could put everything in its place in the combat chronicle of the IL-2 attack aircraft. But the researchers were in for another unpleasant surprise. It turned out that the plane was assembled from the several vehicles, most likely damaged in air battles. Several serial numbers were found on the fuselage and engine, all from different attack aircraft. So the main work on the search for the name of the pilots is still ahead. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to the channel not to miss new videos.